Hey guys, it's Sarah, and I apologize for my voice today. I'm under the weather. I've got a cold, so I've got my little douchey beanie on so I can keep warm. This is the very first video in my Ask Me Anything Q&A series. I think I probably will have 3 or 4 videos. I'm going to do one every Tuesday for the next little while. Thank you to everyone who submitted questions. I tried to put them all together. Hopefully I didn't miss any. There were a few that were very similar, so I kind of put them into one question. I'm sort of trying to group them into things that make sense together. So today's video is going to be on pre-surgical stuff, having surgery in Mexico, post-surgery, and also a little bit about the YouTube community. So let's get started. First question, what was your aha moment when you said, I have to do something drastic to get this weight off? I didn't really have one moment, to be honest. There was not one thing that happened that made me realize, but I'd been researching and thinking about weight loss surgery for about 10 years. And I think that finally the weight, pardon the pun, of all those years of being super morbidly obese and, you know, the way that my life had become and the realization that I was not getting any younger and that even though I didn't have any problems that were weight related that I eventually would, it all kind of contributed to just having that realization that, you know, I really needed weight loss surgery, that I wasn't going to be able to do it on my own. So I don't know that there was one moment, but I think it was just the culmination of years. How did you come up with deciding to do the sleeve? I do have a video where I talk about that, but really briefly, I didn't want the malabsorptive aspect of RNY, or DS for that matter, which a lot of people had recommended because of my starting weight, which was 460. DSers have to take a lot of vitamins too. I'm really bad at that, so I was like, no. Although I've been better than I thought I would be, but I didn't want any rerouting. I didn't want malabsorption. I thought that VSG was the surgery with the least amount of complications long-term. And also, I felt like VSG addressed my particular weight issues the best. My issue really was overeating. I mean, part of my issue is just genetics, but my issue is really overeating and never feeling full and that sort of thing. And I felt like VSG could help me with that aspect. And this is going to sound bad, but I felt like VSG would make me work harder. And that's what I wanted. So, yeah. How do you think it affected you being a self-pay patient in Mexico without a program to go through? For me, I honestly think that wasn't a bad thing at all. And that just comes down to the kind of person that I am and my personality. I like to do my own research. I like to do my own thing. I like to make up my own mind. I like to take things from different places and do what makes the most sense to me. So ultimately for me, it was very beneficial to not have a program, I think, because sometimes I can, I don't know, sometimes I'm not good at following instructions. I don't think that is the right thing for everyone, I'll be honest. I think you need to kind of examine yourself, really look inwardly and decide whether you think you can do it on your own or whether you need the support and the structure of a program. But for me, it was totally not an issue, and I think actually in the end it was better. Did you seek out extra nutritional or counseling support on your own? Yes and no, depending on how you look at it. I don't have a nutritionist, but again, I do lots of research. I'm online all the time, on message boards, on websites, on YouTube, on Facebook, all of those things. So I didn't seek out, I guess, institutional or medical support on my own. It is not possible here in Ontario where I live to sort of join a bariatric program if you didn't have surgery here. So I can't like attach myself to my local bariatric center, unfortunately, or I probably would have done that. I did explore that option. But yeah, so the answer is really no. I kind of do my own thing. What would your advice be to newbies following the no program? My advice is to get as much support as you can. So be as active as you can online with social media, do your research, find a local support group. I did do that, so I am part of a local support group which is not attached in any way to any bariatric program. You know, find support online. the more connected to the community you can be, the more you will learn, the more you will find out, and the easier it is to get support if you need it. But also don't be afraid to, make sure that your PCP is on board with you, and if there are local resources, definitely explore those, because it is important to have a place to turn if you're having issues. What is the next question? What's one thing that surprised you about getting your surgery in Mexico? The reason that I ended up having surgery in Mexico really was because I wanted a VSG, and VSG is not something that was done all that often here in Ontario at the time. It is growing in popularity here, but I wanted to ensure that VSG was the surgery I had, and so Mexico was sort of my only choice. Not my only choice, but the best choice for me. I don't think that anything surprised me about having surgery in Mexico, again, because I had done tons of research, and I felt like I knew exactly what to expect, and it was exactly what I expected. It was a great experience. I had my surgery with Dr. Aceves at Mexicali Bariatric in Mexicali, Mexico, at Almeida Hospital. The hospital was fantastic. All the doctors were fantastic. Everything about my experience was great. So I wasn't surprised, but I'll tell you what surprised me was other people's reactions to the fact that I was having surgery in Mexico, or I had surgery in Mexico. And I don't know, it's just bias, and it's ignorance in the sense of just not knowing what it's all about. But it still surprises me because I love people's reactions when I say that I had surgery in Mexico. And I'm 99% certain I'll be having my plastics in Mexico as well. So I'll have lots more opportunity to get that reaction from people. I'm scared of post-surgery pain. How is yours? I have a pretty high pain threshold, to be honest. I did not have that much pain. I had a lot of discomfort, but to me, I think of that as a different thing. Actual pain, it wasn't that bad for me, but you do have to stay on top of your medication. Don't be a hero. If you get behind, if you don't stay in front of it, then it can be a disaster. So definitely, take the medication that you're given, definitely get up and walk, but also get lots of rest. But ultimately, I really think it comes down to a personal thing. Everyone's experience is different. Mine wasn't that bad, but yeah, it's hard to judge, I think, unfortunately. Do you have any regrets after having your surgery? Nope. Can't say that I do. I know with 100% certainty I could not have lost 240 pounds on my own. Just wouldn't happen. I'm not ashamed saying that. My weight loss would not have been possible without weight loss surgery. I have no regrets about the type of surgery I had, where I had my surgery. You may have to ask me in 5 years, but right now, no regrets whatsoever. How do you feel or think about people who get the sleeve done but don't lose weight? Ooh, someone's got the hard questions. Controversy. I will be honest, because that's what I'm about. There's no reason why you should have weight loss surgery and not lose weight if you are doing what you're supposed to do. I don't even know how it's physically possible to have weight loss surgery and not lose weight. However, everybody's body is different, and it's not outside of the realm of possibility that you won't lose as much weight as you thought. And what doctors consider to be a success and what you might consider to be a success are two different things. A successful VSG patient loses 60 to 70% of their excess weight. That was not going to be enough for me, I can tell you that much. I think at about 88% excess weight loss or something like that. And I'm still not really, I'm satisfied, but I'm not happy. So you definitely have to be realistic about your goals, and about how much weight you expect to lose. But I really believe if you are doing what you're supposed to be doing, that there's no way you can't lose weight. Regain is a totally different thing. But when it comes to losing weight, I don't know. I follow a lot of people. I follow hundreds and hundreds of people on YouTube. I've read lots of stories online. I've never come across someone who hasn't been successful doing what they're supposed to do. That doesn't mean that you won't stall. It doesn't mean you won't lose weight slower than you expect. But a complete failure is not something I've ever heard of. Since you had surgery, can you give your opinion of how that could happen? I have no idea how that could happen. That's I guess what I'm saying is I don't really believe that could happen with VSG or RNY. Lap band is like a different thing because that's something that can actually physically have a failure. Yeah, different story altogether. But when it comes to like VSG, surgical removal and, dissection and rearranging of things, no, I don't believe that you can have a complete surgery failure where you don't lose weight. But do I believe that you can lose weight and then regain it if you don't do what you're supposed to do? Absolutely. What are the best ways for a newbie to become engaged with the WLS community? I think the thing that's probably the most comfortable for people is to have a period of time where you just kind of lurk and read and watch without necessarily jumping right in and participating. Because I think sometimes you feel like, I know I felt like before I had surgery, I didn't really have a lot to contribute because I was pre-surgery. So, I asked some questions and mostly I just hung back and, read posts, watched YouTube videos, did all that stuff. But I didn't really kind of jump into it until I had scheduled my surgery, started making YouTube videos, and I did all of that. But really, the best thing to do if you want to actively engage in the community is just to put yourself out there. And I shunned Facebook at the beginning, but actually I think Facebook is great because it's a great way to actually interact one-on-one with people. But obviously I think YouTube is fantastic as well. What made you decide to make YouTube videos? I watched YouTube videos for about 18 months before I started making videos. And so I felt like I kind of owed it to the community to give back because I had gotten so much from the people who had sort of come before me and made videos and documented their journey. Also, I felt like it would be really cool to document my journey just for myself, to be able to go back and see, where my head was at and what I look like and all of those things. Because you do forget. You think that you're not going to forget, but you forget. You forget your fears. You forget how you felt. You forget even what you look like to some degree. So it has been really beneficial for me in that way. What kind of camera or software do you use? I use an iPad mini. I sit in front of a big window in my bedroom. Obviously, it's my bed behind me. And so that's really important if you want good quality videos to have good lighting, whether that's natural light, which I think is the best, or some other kind of lighting. And then I either upload directly from just the photo program or I upload it through iMovie, but that's what I use. Any tips for helping people who are extremely shy on camera and afraid to start making YouTube videos? I don't know if I have any amazing tips, but I would say when I sit down to make a video, I think about just sitting down talking to a friend. So I don't, think about, oh my God, I'm talking on camera, or oh my God, hundreds of people might watch this video. I just sit down and imagine that I'm having a conversation with a friend that I want to update about my weight loss surgery. And for me, that makes it really easy to just sit down and make videos. But honestly, I felt awkward about making my first YouTube video too. And I'm someone who's used to actually speaking in front of people and speaking to people. It's something I've done all my life, whether that's theater or public speaking or debating or whatever. So it was even difficult for me. The more you do it, the more comfortable you'll be. So I guess the answer is just to get out there and start doing it. Last question for today. We're good on time too. What are your suggestions for informational sites or blogs regarding weight loss surgery patients to follow, and suggestions for getting started on YouTube and FB? I don't know that there's really any sites per se, but what I would say is with YouTube, just start following people, see who they are following, and then follow those people as well, see who they are talking about and look them up. That's kind of how I started, but it does take time to build people you want to follow. And when it comes to Facebook and that sort of thing, same thing. Just jump in, get involved, look at people who other people are talking about, and that's the best way to find people to follow. So, gotta hurry up. I will see you guys again on Friday for my update, and then Tuesday for another Q&A video. Bye!